It's 12:27 on the same date, the 9th of December 2022, and my next upload from my documentary Sad Sign of the Times regarding civil rights, human rights, democracy, women and children's rights, all these rights that matter, and the rights that I'm experiencing, the offences of others, in my experience, the rights that have been offended by culprits since 2006 in this community. So there's a problem being caused, as I've mentioned. I'm healing from medical misconduct, and it really concerns me that there are doctors in this community that think they're more important than mother and child. The professionals that naively think that they have control of a situation to conceal their failings or to conceal their faults. I have concerns for your misunderstanding of the reality. Some people think they're above the law. Some people think they're more important than other people. And some people think that they have a free hand to do as they wish or as they will with their professions or qualifications to cause harm to other people's lives. Now, it's not very safe when doctors decide to do that kind of damage and disrespect to the anatomy, health, or well-being of any person. And that has happened in my case, and I am subsequently treating ailments on my own that require a sedentary, restful lifestyle, which is very different from the productivity levels that I've had in the past. Fortunately, I have given birth and I've been fulfilled. But there are doctors in this community that have been quite cheeky, thinking they're dominating a circumstance where they've been disrespecting the human anatomy. It's bad enough that there's the Hippocratic Oath and the constitutional right in the framework of the democracy for all people to enjoy health and fulfillment and well-being. That's a human right. It's a democratic right. In Tralee, County Kerry, there have been doctors that not only have damaged the Hippocratic Oath, which I think quite dangerous. They've pilfered and looted from my qualifications, my property, my portfolio, and they've dominated a circumstance under a very false illusion, which would make me think they're preoccupied and blocked with the reality of how this is. Practitioners that have damaged any form of health and well-being that is an entitlement are a liability unto themselves. Disrespecting your oath is very dangerous, and disrespecting your obligations, that's unsafe as well. So there are people that have stepped over the lines. They've actually trespassed onto my properties in the past 7 years since I gave birth. They have trespassed and broken the boundaries associated with my rights and entitlements as a royal. So these people have stepped over lines that I don't like seeing happen at all. And I'm sure that if it was any other individual in society, I don't know if they would appreciate people thinking that they're going to play with health and well-being as they will or feel like when, it chooses them in circumstances where they have been benefiting or exploiting. So there are people benefiting and exploiting from legislation. Brexit has originated, as I've said, from me. That's since 2019. And there are doctors in this community that are guilty as hell, supporting blasphemy and treason and living off my wealth and my land and upholding the most crude conduct. And my work has tried to correct that conduct and misconduct. In 2017, I laid new foundations for this country. Now, that crude conduct, misconduct of anything prior to 2017, that also harmed the reputation of the guards, I might add. The reputation of the guards was harmed as a consequence of that rude misconduct. My work corrected that. And here I am again now in 2022, and I'm still confronted with this crude misconduct in this community in the southwest of Ireland. So there's a very dangerous problem going on when there's a cycle, a wheel, and it's still it's dirtying society. There's no corrections. And I don't like the guards' work being brought into disrepute because it compromises their reputations. And that's not fair for any reputation. My reputation as a teacher has been compromised by people of false reporting and defamation. That's not good enough. So when you're in a state service position, be it the guards, be it education, be it any of the departments up in Dublin that you represent, people that compromise the state departments, the HSE is aware of what I'm speaking of. Health and well-being has been damaged. So there's a very dangerous problem going on. When I've set ombudsman procedures in place since 2017, that means the repeat offenders of these offences against my baby boy since January 2017, when there was the unlawful care order, those people coming into play again is not with any legal circumstance tolerable. So there are people making this situation a little bit more dangerous and discomforting. They're in my proximity. That's not safe. I'm healing from doctors' misconduct that are living off my wealth and my legislation. Now that legislation is associated to my spiritual identity that is being damaged and disrespected. That affects climate change as well, I might add. I'm an avatar. So these people that are playing dirty, corrupting the system in health, education and the authorities prior to 2017 and disrespecting my humanitarian work and my child's upbringing, I take awful exception to any child's upbringing being harmed by people that are playing dirty and that can't do their jobs properly. It's quite unsafe to be disrespecting my little boy's upbringing with dodgy documents that aren't legal. So there's an awful lot that is after incorporating into my experience, and I'm here healing at least 4 or 5 ailments on my own without the doctors doing their job. And the HSE has had full knowledge of this circumstance and the subsequent unfortunate consequences of individuals of guilty, dirty, crude behaviour that my work has created corrections for as of 2017. Now we've also had the legislation of 2019 for my work being disrespected. So this is again to the United Nations and NATO. There's a problem with liabilities and repeat offenders not reading or adhering to the law. These are very dangerous matters. And we've seen the consequences of the wheel that's going round in this cycle of dirty, crude misconduct and people thinking they have control where they don't. And being blasphemous is so dangerous as well. So there's the treason and the blasphemy that concerns everybody's family. And those that think they have the Hippocratic Oath to play with a few qualifications behind their name, whether authenticated or not, that's a bit dangerous to be playing with when you're hurting someone's health and when you're hurting a child's upbringing. So there's a very serious, huge issue going on with the past 20 years in this community. And my humanitarian endeavours to correct the wrongs still have not been acknowledged properly and upright. So any guards that are facilitating, accommodating or supporting any more of this behaviour after what I've done for my country, you think back to January 2017 and how my child has been suffering, and other children as a consequence as well, I might add. People's lives have been harmed because of unlawful care orders against my baby boy. An ombudsman have heard from me since 2017 and nothing has been done about it. And these people are hoping to walk on and prosper and develop on property that I don't consent to them being on at all at all. They've offended my name and my child and our family unit. That's very unsafe to be offending people's families, especially when there is no justification. So hatred is very unsafe. Hate crime is very unsafe. Racism is unsafe. All of these qualities do not represent progress. So there's a very big problem being caused with what I have to confront on my own. The relevant bodies have received notices, correspondences and procedures that are to be acknowledged. I am my own caretaker. I'm my own guardian. I'm an independent adult. I'm married. I'm a property owner. I'm a mother. So there aren't any people in a position to represent me. I represent myself. So Europe, you're aware of COVID-19. Those that are benefiting from anything of that legislation of 2019, I really hope you know it comes back to this person in the southwest of Ireland. That's really important to be respectful of, because it's very dangerous disrespecting people's work. This is a further upload with regard to the problems in County Kerry yet again, in the southwest of Ireland. I'm awaiting action. Proactive action, productive action, progressive action. There are people in jobs being paid money that they haven't earned without fulfilling their duties and functions properly. It's a sad sign of the times. Taoiseach of this country has a debt owing to my name. I'm awaiting that debt to be paid, and the authorities to locate my child and any individuals trespassing on my property. Punishable offence. That's what that is. Trespass is a punishable offence. I hope my message is getting out loud and clear. This is the documentary Sad Sign of the Times regarding the damages to civil rights in Tralee, County Kerry, and people speaking out of place about circumstances and experiences that they have no right to be discussing. So I hope everyone respects civil rights. It's so serious what's going on in this community. It's a sad sign of the times.